Yeah, anytime we're talking about the border, Dana, we're playing to President Trump's strengths. It's an issue he campaigned on. It's an issue he's comfortable talking about. And it's an issue where he feels comfortable. And on the other side, the Democrats, they're really divided on this issue. You've got people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who campaigned on a platform of open borders and abolishing ICE. And she and a bunch of other newly elected, newly empowered Democrats are coming to Capitol Hill soon. So they're in no mood to compromise with the Republicans when it comes to border security. But when you see these images playing out across your TV screen, you're inherently not going to side with someone who wants open borders and no security.
Ty, there was a tweet from Tom Perez, the chairman of the DNC, late last night. He said shooting tear gas at children is not who we are as Americans. Seeking asylum is not a crime. We must be better than this. Are the Democrats, though, in a little bit of a box here? Because surely the Border Patrol does not want to use tear gas on anybody. That's not what they would like to do, especially children. But the children are there, and they are being used as props, to bring them over illegally to try to rush the border.
Look, I think that we need to separate this discussion into three distinct parts. One is the policy of seeking asylum, which is obviously incredibly complex. Second is the morality of America always being a beacon of hope. So put those aside. But just politically speaking, look, I don't think that this is a win for anybody, because I think that what this does is just further puts people into their corners, into their partisan corners. And look, it's hard enough to get things done on Capitol Hill. And when you see these images, when it's blanketing TV waves, it just makes things that much harder to get done, particularly as Colin said. Like, look, President Trump knows where his base is. And the fact that they lost 40 seats in the House shows you that that's probably not where America, where the swing voter is, but he knows where his base is. And that's what he's focusing on. Like I said, this is just going to pull people right into their partisan corners, which, for the millions of people trying to seek entry into the country, that's not the answer, obviously, they want to hear.
Colin, that might be true in the House, but it's not necessarily true in the Senate, where the Republicans were able to stave off or basically flip the seats back to Republican control, especially in the Midwest. So is it actually something where the president could utilize the politics of this to get the legislative answer that he's looking for?
Well, I agree with Ty. The politics of it, if you're in a red state or feel strongly about, as opposed to if you're in a blue part of the country. But I was struck over the weekend. None other than Hillary Clinton was talking about the need for strong borders and unchecked immigration in Europe, and warning about the perils of that. And she's been forced to walk that back because that's not where her party base is. But it kind of speaks to where everyone's going.
Well, we'll see what happens, as the president says. But I think we all agree that something needs to be done. This is a terrible situation, and our Border Patrol is in a terrible position to try to have to push this back. In the meantime, I want to ask you about the Mississippi Senate race. This is the last federal race of 2018. Everyone, after tomorrow night, no more federal elections until next year. I wanted to read to you from James Hohmann of the Daily 202 over at the Washington Post, talking about this Mississippi Senate election. He said, if tomorrow's special election in Mississippi is a referendum on President Trump, Republicans will win. That's why he will not hold one but two rallies tonight for appointed GOP Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith. And Ty, while Cindy Hyde-Smith, you would think in Mississippi probably wouldn't even need usually to have a rally from President Trump. Her campaign hit some speed bumps, which we can talk about. But the Democrats down there are saying that everything is going to have to go Mike Espy's way tomorrow if he has a narrow chance of winning.
Absolutely. Like, for a Democrat to win in Mississippi, let's just be honest, like, you have to pull a straight flush on the river card, and that is never an easy thing to do. I mean, look, President Trump is still incredibly popular in Mississippi. He won the state by 16, almost 17 points. And look, let's just be honest, it's the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, and so it's going to be very unpredictable who comes out. And that's why I think the Trump rally, they want to make sure to sort of inject that adrenaline into the Republican Party.
Colin, your thoughts here that the president has to go down and do not just one, but two rallies tomorrow night, for tomorrow?
I think the race is indisputably closer than it should be based on the demographics of Mississippi. But I think it's not that hard for a Democrat in Mississippi to get 40% of the vote. That's what Mike Espy got in November in the first round of the jungle primary. It's very, very challenging for them to get 50. That's a hill they haven't climbed in a long, long time. And what I'm keeping an eye on, Dana, is the 16% of Republicans who voted for the third place candidate in that jungle primary. If even a fraction of them come home, then this thing will go in the Republicans' favor. But I think it's fair to say it's closer than it should be right now.